Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Derica and you are watching Shelf Love with D. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's video hopefully will be a quick one where I am just wrapping up my favorite reads from 2025. I broke this up into part 1 and part 2 because, as I stated before, that I read 88 books last year and could only narrow it down to 22, and I didn't want to do all 22 in one video, so I thought it would be best to do a part 1 and part 2. So let's not prolong this any longer and let's get right into part 2 of my favorite reads from 2025. The first book up that I would like to talk to you guys about is called Hear My Heart by Taj Monet. This author was a new read for me. I've never read anything by her, but once I saw the cover and read the synopsis on it, I was intrigued, and it really was an enjoyable read. I rated this book 4 stars. Scratch that, according to my Goodreads to be exact, it was 3.5 stars. The synopsis says, growing up deaf in a family that ignored her caused Nakira to embrace the silence. When she meets Rome, she believes she's found the one. After years of being together, the two decide it's time to finally tie the knot when tragedy hits. Then he comes into the picture, and her whole world is suddenly flipped upside down. No matter how forbidden he might be, she can't seem to ignore the feelings forming for him. Everything she thought she knew is suddenly being tested and leaves her conflicted. Nakira is now torn between staying committed or facing new possibilities. Okay, so my review on this book says, I had a good time with this one. I don't normally like a cheating trope, and oh how I wish this book could have been written differently. And so that he could have been in a different position, because it made the cheating trope seem that much more wrong, and I felt bad for enjoying this read. Love this author's writing style and attention to detail regarding ASL and trying to implement it as best as possible in this book. I really enjoyed this book and look forward to reading more by this author. A good time was had. Be warned, spice is on high, which I don't usually enjoy, but somehow strangely it was done in a way that didn't leave me feeling dirty or like a perv. Yes, I would read again, and yes, I would recommend to a friend. I really did enjoy this book. As stated in my review, I don't normally like a cheating trope. In real life, I don't do cheating, and I don't like to read about it or watch a movie about it. But like I said, it was done in a way that wasn't too bad. I do still feel like this book could have been basically the same story, just omitting the cheating trope. And also the person that she ended up cheating with, I wasn't cool with that. But those things aside, the book was really good. I love that, I hadn't read a book before where a main character was deaf. And I love that, she tried to implement ASL in the way that people who are deaf communicate, and how their hearing is different, and how, sometimes they will use aids and sometimes they don't, and read mouths, and, how it can be helpful when we're communicating to them. The passion was high in this story. The love interest was cute in this story. I just wish it was someone else. I don't want to give any spoilers away. It was a good read, and I did like the flow of the book. A very cute cover. Love the author's writing style. I would read it again. I just think it would have been so much more better, and their love would have been even more beautiful if it wasn't started based off a cheating trope. It was hard to truly be happy for the female main character and her newfound love because of the way that it got started. And I'm like that in real life. No shade to anybody. We all make mistakes. I've made mistakes, but when you are starting a relationship and it is started based off you guys cheating, it's hard to just look at that as romantical. It's hard to look at it as, oh, you guys were meant to be, because one of y'all stole the other one from their person, and if you are unhappy in a relationship, end that first. Even if you are in a relationship and you start to take interest in somebody else, do the right thing and end this first, get that in order, and then start something. That way y'all can have a fresh, clean slate, and everybody can be so happy about y'all's love. Again, not that it matters what people think, but I just think for the basis of starting a relationship, the foundation should just be clean, clear, and free of drama. But with that being said, this was a cute read. I would read it again. I look forward to reading more by this author. The feel of the book was a nice, cozy read. So that, as you can see from the cover, it is a nice fall vibe, and I do feel like that was felt in the book as well. Add this book to your TBR if you have not read it, and if you have read it, what were your thoughts about the book? What did you rate it? Okay, so moving on to the next one up on my faves from 2025 was The Attic Child. And I did a review on this book, and it was in a video all by itself because there was just so much depth, so much to unpack in this book, and it just needed its own time and space. I rated this book 5 stars, and I'm sure everyone has seen this book floating around the book space. But if you haven't, I will go ahead and read the book description for you guys to give you an idea of what it's about. So it says, early 1900s, taken from his home, 12-year-old Celestine spends most of his time locked away in the attic of a large house by the sea. The only time Celestine isn't bound by confines of the small space is when he is acting as an unpaid servant to English explorer Sir Richard Babington. As the years pass, he desperately clings on to memories of his family in Africa, even as he struggles to remember his mother's face and sometimes his real name. 1974, Laura, a young orphan girl born into wealth and privilege, whose fortune have now changed, finds herself trapped in the same attic. Searching for a ray of light in the darkness of the attic, Laura finds under the floorboards an old-fashioned pen, a porcelain doll, a beaded necklace, and a message carved on the wall written in an unidentifiable language, providing comfort for her when all hope is lost. These clues will lead her to uncover the secrets. Okay, so for some reason it won't show the rest of the description, but it says these clues will help her to uncover the secrets, and I assume that that's been hidden in her family or her family's generation or lineage. This was a very good book, a very powerful read that left me not in a slump, but just very reflective. And I love this author's writing style. If you have not watched my video on this book, please go and watch that video. I go into depth about how I felt about it, my thoughts on it, my favorite quotes, and just what I walked away with. I really enjoyed this book. This book is loosely based on a real child who around this time was taken from Africa, which as I learned through reading this book, that happened often back in this time frame, that children were taken from their homes with the promise of a better life or a future by coming to America, and ended up being slaves and stripped away from their family and the life and culture and environment that they ever known, and never seeing them again. And unfortunately, the true life story, this child died shortly after coming over to America. However, in this story, with it being fictional, the author decided to give Celestine a different ending, and I loved it. I loved that she gave him a chance to grow, to find love, to work, to earn a living, to become a business owner. I just really, really enjoyed this book. Very powerful read. It is a slow burn, and I think it was done well because she wanted to tell the story and allow you to fully get to know the character, so that the ending had that much more of a powerful effect on your heart and your mind. And I think she did a very, very, very good job with this book. So highly recommend it. If you have not read The Attic Child, please do add it to your TBR list. If you have read it, what did you think of it? Did you enjoy it? I do remember when I first picked up this book, it took me a while to get into it. I would pick it up, read a couple of pages, put it down. But once you finally just accept that this is a slow burn, that it's worth the burn, that it's worth the time that it took to, fully bring the story together, and to give the real Celestine, which I don't remember his real name. I'll go back and look at my other video where I put it in there and put it up on the screen. But I do feel like in order to give him justice, give his story justice, this needed to be a slow cook, and it was a very good read. So if you have not read it, please read it, add it to your TBR. Okay, so next book up is Children of Blood and Bone. and I rated this 5 stars. I do believe this is considered a Black fantasy, and I really enjoyed this book, and it kind of jump-started my curiosity to read more fantasy books. I would definitely be completing the series. I would like to have all 3 books on my shelves. I do believe that I heard people saying that the series kind of fell flat after book 1. However, I have to see for myself. I enjoyed book 1 so much that I just have to see it through to the end. As I said, I rated this book 5 stars. The book description says, "They killed my mother, they took our magic, they tried to bury us, now we rise." Zaylee Adebola remembers when the soil of Arisha hummed with magic. Burners ignited flames, tiders beckoned waves, and Zaylee's reaper mother summoned forth souls. But everything changed the night magic disappeared. Under the orders of a ruthless king, magi were killed, leaving Zaylee without a mother and her people without hope. Now Zaylee has one chance to bring back magic and strike against the monarchy. With the help of a rogue princess, Zaylee must outwit and outrun the crown prince, who is hell-bent on eradicating magic for good. Danger lurks in Arisha, where snow leoparders prowl and vengeful spirits wait in the waters. Yet the danger may be Zaylee herself, as she struggles to control her powers and her growing feelings for an enemy. This was such a good read. I remember from page 1, I was intrigued. I like the main male character, Zaylee. I like her personality. She's a spunky type girl, and she's one of those girls who feel as though I can do anything that a boy can. So she trains hard to be the best. And I really just like the flow of this book. I liked that we got to see the highs and lows of Zaylee in her headstrong ways, that sometimes they were good, sometimes her stubbornness was good and worked to their benefit, and sometimes it got not only her but her and her family in a whole heap of trouble as well. I enjoyed this book. It is a YA book, but I believe that anyone of any age can enjoy this book. As I said, there are 3 books total in this series, and I plan to read all of them. Per usual, there was mixed reviews on Goodreads for this book. Overall, it has a pretty good rating. The rating is an average of 4.1 stars on Goodreads. I think for me, with me being new to fantasy, my expectations are just not high, or with me not knowing the fantasy world or how it should read or flow, I'm able to just sit back and read this book as I would any other book. Especially when they're low fantasy, when they are not complicated and have so many worlds and all that thing. It's easy for me to follow along with and read and enjoy. So maybe the people who are not enjoying it are fantasy readers and they are just wanting more of that. With that being said, it is a book 1. And like I've stated before, with book 1, it's a bit more of an introduction to the characters and the magic and the build up of what's to come with the next book. So with that being said, with it being a book 1, I enjoyed it. Even if this was the one and only book, I still would say it was a good time and would highly recommend this book. I can't wait to get into book 2 and then 3 and complete the series. And even if 2 and 3 fall flat, I enjoyed book 1 so much that I still would have to have it on my shelf. So either way, it will be on my shelf eventually. Okay, so next book up is You Never Know by Raina Swan. As y'all know, this is Raina's first adult book, and it was a novella, and it was such a good, thrilling ride. I rated this novella 5 stars, and I promise you, when I say that it is not because Raina is my girl, but it was an honest review. If you have not read this novella, run and do it now. You literally can get it done within a few hours, within the same day, not only because it's a novella, but because the writing and the pacing is just so good. I love the personalities of the characters, the banter, the dialogue. It just felt so real and so authentically us, and I just love when we are written well, when we are represented on pages well, when it is realistic, like, oh, I would say that, or my mom would say that, or if I said that to her, this would be the typical response. I love when it just feels authentic, familiar, and real. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and read the synopsis for you if you are not familiar with the book. It says, You Never Know is a tense, unflinching thriller about obsession, regret, and the unseen danger that slips quietly into your life until it implodes. A terrible mistake, a mysterious gift, messages that should have been taken seriously, and the realization that some grudges don't fade, they hunt. And I remember my takeaway with this book is to continue to be kind to everyone, even those that are difficult, because you just never know the type of person that you are truly dealing with. And we see it all the time where people get into a fight over somebody cutting in line at Walmart, or a woman got stabbed because she held the door open for another woman, and the woman didn't say thank you. And when she tried to check her, she ended up losing her life over it. So we just never know. And I'm not telling anyone to grovel or to live their life in fear. Just be wise and use wisdom. Everyone is going through their own walks of life, and we never know at what point when we meet them that they are at. So just be kind, don't take things personal, let it kind of roll off your back, because you just never know when things can come back to haunt you, when you were just carelessly, when you carelessly in a comment to somebody, or cut them off in traffic, or try to race them down in traffic because they cut you off. Whatever the case may be, life is too short, your life is too precious. So just live your best life and try to be kind and respectful to everyone, because this book right here just goes to show you what goes around comes around. So be careful. This was an exciting, thrilling read. It is a book that I would definitely read again because it was just easy to get through, exciting. Like if I read it on my Kindle, but I was clicking away, ready to get to the next page and find out what was going to come. The ending leaves you wanting more. She has already said time and time again that she will not be writing more, that this is it. But maybe in the future, Raina will decide to give us some more and continue this story on out, because it was so good. Well done, Raina. I was amazed. I was truly shocked and did not expect for it to be as great of a read as it was. Like, she did her big one with that one. So would highly recommend. If you've not read You Never Know, you can buy it for $3.99 on Amazon, or it is also on Kindle Unlimited for you to read free if you have that subscription. So moving on to the next, my next favorite read was Boomtown. I rated this 5 stars. And it surprised me. This book was about strippers or exotic dancers, and I did not intend on liking this book as much as I did. It gives you enough depth and detail for you to have an idea about the lifestyle without overindulging, because that is not the main purpose of the story. Look, it's about 2 girls named Charm and Lucky who go missing, and then their friend or co-worker Lyric, who starts to do her own investigation on trying to find out what happened to them. As we know, that when exotic dancers or ex-workers go missing, there's not a real hunt to find them, because it is just assumed that, with their lifestyle, more than likely they're gone, or it's a choice that they made to disappear. So she's like, no, I'm gonna go figure out what happened to my girls and see if I can help them, or at least find out what happened to know the truth. I do remember in this book that although I enjoyed it, I found it a bit confusing with the author going between their government names and their exotic dancer names. That made it a bit confusing for me personally. I just wish she would have maybe in the beginning said, like, I don't know, Brittany's stripper name was Lucky, and then just kept calling her Lucky throughout the book instead of going back and forth. That for me was a little confusing, but other than that, this was a good read. It reminded me of watching like Criminal Minds or CSI, something like that. If you're into those shows, I definitely think you would enjoy Boomtown. Again, it was not something that I would have probably picked up on my own. It was a book club read with Lex Reads, and I definitely enjoyed it. It was a good time, and I want to say that this was this author's first adult book. I guess she normally writes YA and middle grade, but she did her big one with this one. I really enjoyed reading this book. I was pleased with the pacing and the dialogue, the banter. I'm really big on authentic conversations. between friends and people in books. Like I want it to feel real, even though I'm reading a fictional story. I want to feel like, yeah, all this would happen this way. It would flow this way. So, yeah, so if I like a book, it goes without saying that the writing or the dialogue, the banter was authentic, because that's very important to me when I'm reading a book. I want to feel like I am sitting back, I'm a fly on the wall in somebody's house, and I'm watching them, respond to each other the way they would if nobody else was around. So it was definitely a read that I did not expect to like, but I am so glad that I read, and I would like it on my shelf. I would read it again. Have you heard of Boomtown? Would you read Boomtown? Is it on your TBR? If you read Boomtown, what did you think about it? Did you enjoy it? Per usual, Goodreads had mixed reviews on it, and I think that's one of the things that I like about the book space. It's so amazing how I could hate a book that you love, and that you can love a book that I hate, which is okay. It just goes to show that we all need different things from the books that we are reading, and that's the fun and that's the fun in talking about books. As we converse and talk about things that we've read, it's like, oh, I want to add that to my TBR, and sometimes we'll love it and sometimes we hate it. But I just think that's so interesting how, my 5-star could be your 1-star and vice versa, but we're all different, and it's okay. We don't have to like the same books to be book buddies. You don't have to love my 5-star read. That's just the beauty in the book space. There's so many books. There's a book for everyone, and sometimes we will agree on those reads and those ratings, and sometimes we won't. And I'm a person that even if I don't like it, I like to hear why you did like it. And if you did like it and I didn't, I like to explain why. So I just love that. That's the beauty of the book space, that we all have a similar interest, but we like our books and stories for different reasons, and we need different things in these books and stories, and sometimes they align and sometimes they don't. But I love the beauty of that. Next favorite read from 2025 is The Twin, and I read that one toward the end of 25 and really enjoyed it. It was a recommend from Eliza Reads. That was my first book by that author, and her name was Natasha Preston, and I will definitely be reading more books by her. As I am beginning to gain a desire to read more fantasy, I am also getting into my thriller bag. Now, with that being said, I did not enjoy The Chain because it just felt like that just completely needed to be a movie and not a book at all. But outside of that one, I've really been enjoying these thriller books and the mystery of them and the pacing of them, and the whodunit and the plot twist. I'm really starting to become a thriller girl, and I love that for me. This book was so good. I could not stand Iris. I could not stand her. They're twins, but when the parents divorced, each parent got a twin, and then the mom had a tragic accident. She passed away. Once she passed away, she moved. Iris ended up moving with Ivy and the dad, and this girl's crazy. This girl's crazy. I want to leave it at that because I want you to go into that book as blindly as possible. I rated this book 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. It was a thrilling ride. The twist at the end will have you with your jaw hitting the floor like, no way. And then it's it. That's it. It's over with. It's over. I was shocked. I was stumped at the end of this book, just sitting there like, no way. No way. But yeah. It ends like that. It ends like that. Oh my gosh. If you read The Twin, please come back to any one of my videos or my community posts and let me know your thoughts. That one was a wild ride. That is a book that I would like to read. I wish that I could reread again for the first time, because I just did not expect to enjoy that book the way that I did. I didn't expect for it to be as good as it was. Gotta read more by Natasha. I think she's got that thriller bag. Oh my. All right, so next one up for my favorite reads of 2025 was The King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby, and I rated that book 5 stars. This book was so good. It was my first S.A. Cosby book, and I really enjoyed it. Although I've heard that Razor Blood Tears and All the Sinners Bleed are better than The King of Ashes. This was my first S.A. Cosby book, so I enjoyed it. I was sold on it. I rated this 6 stars. Like, this was so good. I have a review on this one. I believe it's on one of my wrap-up videos, so please go and watch it. The cover should be on the thumbnail, but I will be sure to put the video link for this one, as well as the Attic Child and the Twin. I'll put those links for the video in the description so that you can watch them and hear my thoughts on it, as I went into depth a bit more on why I enjoyed it and things like that. But definitely enjoyed King of Ashes. I became an immediate fan after I finished that book. I will say I have since then read another S.A. Cosby book, and it was Blacktop Wasteland, which I'm going to review in another video. So I'll just leave it at that. For now, King of Ashes still holds my #1 spot for an S.A. Cosby book, but I will get into a more depth review in my next video regarding the Blacktop Wasteland. So if you have not read King of Ashes, which I'm sure everyone has by now, I was late to the game, but if you hadn't and you've been thinking about it, definitely just jump right in. It's a good time. It is definitely a good time, well written. It's got some thriller in it. It's got some action in it. It was good. It was good. Definitely check it out if you haven't. So my next one up was The Yellow Wife by Sadika Johnson. I know y'all know that I wasn't going to do my top reads and not add this one into it. I rated this 5 stars, y'all. I love that she heavily researched, the happenings around this time, but I also love that she gave us those high moments of, although they were slaves and although they had hardships, that they had good times too. And you don't see that a lot whenever you're reading historical fiction, especially about slavery, because it is sad. It is, a depressing time, but they also were a people of endurance, and love that she showcased it despite their hardship and the things that they endured, that they still smiled, they still had moments of happiness, and they still found love. So definitely enjoyed that. If you have not read The Yellow Wife, I'll go ahead and read the book description for you. It says, born on a plantation in Charley City, Virginia, Phoebe Dolores Brown has lived a relatively sheltered life, shielded by her mother's position as the estate's medicine woman and cherished by the master's sister. She is set apart from the others on the plantation, belonging to neither world. She'd been promised freedom on her 18th birthday, but instead of the idyllic life she imagined with her true love, Essex Henry, Phoebe is forced to leave the only home she has ever known. She unexpectedly finds herself thrust into the bowels of slavery at the infamous Devil's Half Acre, a jail in Richmond, Virginia, where the enslaved are broken, tortured, and sold every day. There, Phoebe is exposed not just to her jailer's cruelty, but also to his contradictions. To survive, Phoebe will have to outwit him, and soon she faces the ultimate sacrifice. So that just jogged my memory on that book. Such a good read. It's heavy at times, but as I said, there was also those lighter moments. It also showcases how during that time, a lot of people did what they had to do to survive, even if it meant, giving themselves to their master, giving their children to their master, giving their bodies to their master in order to simply survive. I love that it shows how, she wasn't a part of either world, because she got treated a little special because her mama was the village woman, and who her father was. Oh my gosh. And then once she ends up at the Devil's Acre, y'all, that man is a special kind of evil. That book was so good. She did an amazing job with this story. I am not sure if anyone else could have written it better. So good. It will have you feeling all the emotions, all the feelings. I will definitely be rereading this book this year. If any of you would like to, we can read it together as a buddy read, as a little group book club read. I would definitely enjoy reading this book again. Let me know down in the comments. I also think it would be fun to read it that way, have more of a discussion with somebody, bounce our feelings and thoughts and ideas off of each other regarding this book. Nonetheless, even if you are like, I'm cool on a buddy read, please read this book. Do not let this year end without you reading this book. It is so good. so good. Even if you're not a fan of historical fiction, I definitely feel like you would love this book. Definitely feel like that. So last but not least, up on my favorite reads of 2025 was The American Queen by Vanessa Miller. I rated this book 5 stars. Out of Happy Land and The American Queen, I enjoyed The American Queen more, although I still want Happy Land. I still enjoyed Happy Land, and it will be on my shelf one day. But I just enjoyed the route that Vanessa Miller took versus the book Happy Land. But if you have not read Happy Land, I still encourage you to read it. It was a good read, and I encourage you to read The American Queen as well, because they are about the same place but just told differently. And I would love to hear which story you preferred. It will also encourage you to check into Happy Land and the history regarding that, because before I picked up these books, I didn't know about Happy Land and the fact that our people had a king and queen and land and space that was ours. It kind of reminds you of Black Wall Street. And so Black Wall Street is a bit more famous or well known because of the tragedies that took place. Happy Land, of course, was taken from our people as well, but it wasn't. It was done slowly but surely, and kind of on the hush. So it didn't gain as much notoriety as the Black Wall Street Massacre did. Nonetheless, both are very good books, and I recommend Happy Land as well as American Queen. I'm going to go ahead and read the book description for you guys. It says, in 1869, a kingdom rose in the South, and Luella was its queen. For the 24 years that she's been enslaved on the Montgomery plantation, Luella learned to feel one hate. Hate for the man who sold her mother, hate for the overseer who left her daddy to hang from a noose, hate so powerful there's no room in her heart for love, not even for the Honorable Reverend William, whom she likes and respects enough to marry. But when William finally listens to Luella's pleas and leads to formerly enslaved people out of their plantation, Luella begins to replace her hate with hope. Hope that they will find a place where they can live free from fear. Hope that despite her many unanswered prayers, she can learn to trust for her new miracles. Soon, William and Luella become the appointed king and queen of their self-proclaimed kingdom of the Happy Land. And though they are still surrounded by opposition, they continue to share a message of joy and goodness and fight for the freedom and dignity of all. Transformative and breathtakingly honest, The American Queen shares the unsung story, The American Queen shares the unsung true history of a kingdom built as a refuge for the courageous people who dared to dream of a different way of life. So this book was so good. It's centered around the time where African Americans are freed from slavery. And it goes to show how some people made the decision to stay with their masters because even though it was hardship and it was work, they had a place to live. They had a roof over their head, food on their table, clothes on their back. And some of them were afraid to leave because they were so brainwashed and it was all that they knew. Luella and her people wanted freedom. She had seen so much hurt and so much had been taken away from her that they just wanted to have their own. So they gathered together and took this long journey to find a place that they called Happy Land. They named it themselves. It was that moment where they were like, we have our own and we can name it whatever we want to name it. We don't have to be told. So they called it Happy Land, and some of them even changed their own names that they went by because some of them have been given their master's last names and some of them have been named by their owners. So they wanted to be called something new in this new space. And it just, talks about how they build up this place, how they joined together. It was kind of a one pot system that they all worked, odd jobs and things like that, and they put it in a pot and then distribute it equally amongst everyone so that everyone would always have. And I love that. It also goes to show how even sometimes we can hurt ourselves when we turn against each other and not stick together, or when we become greedy. This is another book that will have you feeling all kind of emotions, and I would even dare to say it is a must read. We need to be reading these books that tells our story, even if they are done in a fictional way, which I think that it helps to learn the information a bit easier. Once you learn about a place, you can then go look it up and read more books about it and find out the truth of these places and how they came about. I do think it's so important to know our history. And Miss Darnea DeReese, I hope that I am saying your name correctly. I'm gonna just start calling you D. Nope, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna learn how to pronounce your name. I do believe it's Darnea DeReese. I'll put her down on the bottom, but her channel, her booktube space is so big about Black voices and knowing our history history and things like that. And she is prompting me to dive more into our history and to know about, what our people went through and what we've accomplished, and to keep giving a voice to the stories of the people who fought long and hard before we came along. So even if you are not just a huge lover of historical fiction, I urge you to pick up Happy Land, The American Queen, Junie, and The Yellow Wife, to just learn a bit more about the history. And it is done in a way that, yes, you're going to feel the hurt, yes, you're going to feel the pain, but you're also going to see the joy and overcoming and endurance that that also took place as well back in those times. And you'll find that, I think a lot of people stray away from reading books about slavery because you don't want to be weighed down, and you may feel some weight throughout different parts of the book, but you will also be so surprised at how enlightened and encouraged and empowered you feel at the end of these historical fictions as well. So that is it. That is all for my part 2 of my favorite reads of 2025. I look forward to all the great reads that we're going to get into in 2026. And if you have any book recommendations for me per usual, please let me know down in the comments. If you could only pick 2 books that were your favorite reads from 2025, what would they be? Please let me know down in the comments. That's it for today. And until next time, don't forget to show yourself some love today.
Blessed with another chance, blessed with another chance, blessed with another chance, I am.